right, I don't know about y'all, but that was that was interesting. It was supposed to play music, and all it did on my end was
You didn't hear the music?
Oh,
nope.
we could hear it. I like that actually. That's pretty cool. That's good.
Uh,
It could be on my end then.
we are live.
Yep, we're
Welcome to
live
Insane
now.
Asylum. We are now an award-winning podcast, and we have Bill and Ronnie from Sigma Paranormal Society.
All
Welcome,
right.
guys.
Yeah, welcome.
Thank
Thank
you.
you for
Thank you.
joining us.
Nice to be here.
So, the question of the day: what got you started in the paranormal? Because that's one of the questions I ask people, and it kind of breaks the ice for them, lets them give us a backstory.
Sure. So for me, I've always been interested in the paranormal, even as a child growing up. But then when I was in college, I had some experiences in my apartment, objects moving and stuff like that. So that really heightened my interest. And then over the years, of course, watched all the shows and all the YouTube videos, and got tired of sorting through the fake ones, and decided it was time to start capture my own evidence. So that's kind of what got me
Okay.
into making videos. So
Yeah, so for
Okay.
me, I kind of grew up in a haunted house in Nebraska, and my parents always told me all these stories about things that happened, and bedroom doors slammed shut, and the washer and dryer lids would open and close while they were walking down the stairs, and just a bunch of random different things.
That's that sounds about like a regular intelligent haunting or bordering on a poltergeist. Do you have anything thrown at you?
I mean,
no, not me either. Just objects sliding across the table, things like that.
So you've only been doing this for how long?
About a year is when we
Okay.
first started investigating. We've had our channel going for I don't know, maybe 9 months, 8 or 9 months. We finally started putting videos out. So
Okay. And how many investigations have you done so far?
maybe 30,
yeah, I'd say
probably
about
probably
30.
30 investigations.
All right. Cool. Cool. Cool.
Yeah.
And have you had any success in capturing any evidence that you think is
Yeah,
possibly evidence?
oh
Definitely,
yeah.
yeah. Go ahead, Ronnie. Tell us some of your favorite highlights.
So the very first one that we recorded and we put out there on our page was actually a shadow figure. We caught that, and then there's a lot of EVPs, and that's when I really got into the EVP side of it.
Yeah, especially when
EV,
they started using our names. That was really creepy.
EVPs are a very interesting phenomena. I agree. You can capture some interesting things with it. What kind of equipment do you use?
Yeah. So we've got the standard IR camera, right? The night vision, the camera with night vision mode.
Okay.
We've got the Spirit Box, SB7. We've got an Ovilus. We built one of the Xbox cameras where you can capture the stick figures and see them moving and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
We built one of those. Um,
He built a portal box.
built one of the portal boxes.
Yeah,
Um, those are our
yeah.
main. Of course, we have a couple EMF meters. Also captures temperature and EMF.
Right.
Um, so those are our main tools that we use right now.
Okay. No, everybody has a different setup. That's why I was kind of wondering. You
Yeah.
know. So I've heard of the obelisk, and I've also heard those are damn expensive
Hard
They
to
are.
find, too.
and
Yeah.
hard to find. And hard to find.
So it
Yep.
took me forever. I'd say a few months to even find one, and then it took what 3 months to get it
To ship it here,
because
yeah,
they had to make it and then they ship it. And yeah, it wasn't cheap, but I love it. I'm so glad we got that.
definitely.
I'm not too certain myself about the spirit boxes because they scan the AM and FM bands,
Yeah. So he
and
actually
you can pick up
modified.
almost anything on those. So, and I understand, you should be able to tell the difference between a radio station and something trying to talk through it. But I don't know. I guess on that I'm a skeptic
Yeah,
when
me
it comes
too.
to the spirit box.
Well, you get into some of those areas where it's just you're going to pick up too many FM signals, and
Yeah,
Yeah, then
yeah,
it kind of
it's
makes
not
it
going to work.
obsolete because if you got well, actually being down in Missouri, I've traveled through the southern end of Missouri down there from St. Louis all the way through to Tulsa, Oklahoma, where some of my family live. So I and Springfield and all that through there, and I know that sometimes through there it's kind of hard to get a good radio station, but there are certain areas too that do have a saturation of radio stations, so that's one of the
yeah,
reasons. So
yeah.
you've got the Sigma Paranormal Society.
We
Now, are
do.
you the only members, or do you have other members, or are you looking to put it together like some of the groups that are out there, to where you have break off members that are doing other stuff in other areas?
Yeah, so that's a great question. It is just the two of us for right now. We're definitely open to other people joining. We just haven't really met a lot of folks in our area who are interested. So, but if there's anyone watching who is, shoot us a note. Check us out on Facebook or YouTube. Let us know. We're always down to look for new members, or even do a collaboration with someone. So if they've got their own group,
Right.
always open up to do a joint investigation type of deal. So yeah.
Yeah, it's cool. It's cool. Um, so yeah, I mean there are other groups out there too, like the Soul Sisters, and they're out of Florida, and they're all female
Oh, okay.
too. So um, oh man, I hate that. Kind of draw a blank. Joe, come on, help me out here, buddy.
Hey,
Any,
there was something I wanted to say earlier. When we were talking about the Spirit Box, the SB7, you guys had mentioned the radio stations coming through.
Yeah,
And that's a really great point. And that was something that we worried about as well. So one of the things I did to try and alleviate that is I took it apart and I removed the antenna out of it, so that it would reduce the amount of potential interference from the stations. So
exactly. Okay, yeah, I see
that
where
helped.
you went with that. You took the antenna out, so its pickup range was a lot shorter.
Right. Yeah, so that would help.
yeah,
We thought would
yeah.
help reduce it.
Actually,
That
I
would,
think
So,
actually I think the one we have, the antenna is removable.
yeah,
okay.
because that would definitely make a difference because that would put you in a range near you instead of catching everything that's out there.
Right.
So
Yeah.
yeah, no, that's cool. That's cool.
So, and we're skeptical too. So whenever we use it, we approach everything with a skeptical mindset. So if we're not getting intelligent responses, if it's just random words or things that don't make sense, then we discredit that type of
Okay.
response. So,
So do you ever try to debunk your own stuff?
we do. Yeah.
We do debunk a lot, actually.
Yeah. We don't. I mean, that's kind of our thing, is our little catchphrase or our slogan is, real paranormal, real people, real fear. And that's the whole reason we got into it, was because we were tired of all the fake stuff.
Oh
So
yeah.
we try to debunk as much as we can, because we don't want to be putting things out there that we are sketchy, or not real. So
Yep. Yep. That's one of the things about us too. When we do an investigation, if I feel like I've caught anything, I'll actually try to debunk that, or or like one instance, we went to one of the cemeteries in Madison,
Forest Hill.
Wisconsin here, Forest Hill Cemetery, and the day we went, it I it to me it was kind of weird. It looked like I caught a figure moving behind a headstone, but there was nobody in the area at the time. But the film or the video was very shaky because at the time I was fighting mosquitoes off.
yeah,
So I was a little upset about that, and we got back together and went back out the following day around the same time. and I went ahead and set the camera up on a tripod this time, and I got similar. I got it pretty close to being in the same area where I was, and then I went through trying to figure out where it was, what I was possibly seeing. I even walked out in the area, filled a view of the camera and everything to get more of a sizing of of figure that would be out there. Because I'm 5'8". Yeah, I lost an inch. So I used to be 5'9", but but I came to the determination that it was shadowing. As the sun's setting, you're getting a light type of, the sunlight through the trees and the leaves, and at the angle it was happening, it was causing a shadowing. So I debunked my own stuff and was like, okay, that's how I feel it was at that point. And
Yeah.
we do try to, and sometimes too, we'll actually try to recreate somebody else's
Yeah, we did that once.
so-called,
Ah, that
which
was
we actually did. There's
Well, during that that like 3 months that we took off in between before we switched over to the paranormal, we were watching some of these on YouTube and kind of
yeah,
debunking them.
we were
okay.
watching
You
some
know,
of the videos, and I was actually able, just looking at the video, to tell that it was a person or that it was
and
something that wasn't
we
what they were
ran
claiming.
across this one that was at this pretty famous place in Madison that's supposedly got a lot of activity, and I knew right away because I lived in Madison for many years that yeah, it was just somebody crossing the lawn,
Yeah,
Okay.
going to the store at like 3 o'clock in the morning, you know.
Yeah.
And and once you figure that out, and we recreated it, and it was like, yep, see, told you.
yep, that's exactly it. So,
I mean, our first one of the nights we were out there a couple of times. One of them, we ran into a dude walking his dog
yep.
as we rounded the corner of the building.
But yeah. So, in all your investigations, have you been spooked? Like, did something surprise you? You didn't now you didn't do like Ghost Adventures guys and be all macho and go out there, and then whenever something happens you scream like a little girl and take off running.
No, not yet. We haven't seen anything scary enough to make us do that. We've definitely had some some interesting experiences. I would say for me, a majority of the spookiness, I guess, is more of a feeling that you get, not necessarily something, not a jump scare, not something that we really seen. Because the shadow figure that we captured at the time that we were capturing it, Ronnie got a really weird feeling. I got a weird feeling, but we didn't actually see it. So we didn't see it in person. We didn't notice that we captured it until we reviewed the footage. So um, for me, it's just always been a spooky feeling, but never anything that.
Yeah,
How about you?
I'm the same way. Yeah, unless I get goosebumps because it gets cold all of a sudden, but I've never been spooked really. Except,
Oh, actually, how about when we were down in the basement of the Ridnour Baker building when that thing grabbed your neck?
oh yeah, I forgot all about
So
that. So
yeah,
it like pushed the collarbone area, and I just jumped back. I was like, no, I'm not coming back in this room. I'm gonna just come on out this way.
yeah,
That was weird.
that's pretty wild. Yeah.
Okay. You know that if when stuff like that happens, that you're actually the one in control usually, and you
Yeah,
can you can tell them to stop, and they'll stop, as long as you don't allow the spirit. If you do wind up getting an activity like that, you don't allow the spirit to take control of the situation. Then then they can then you can have control over the investigation at that time instead. Sometimes that's a if you listen to some of the other paranormal investigators that are out there, they'll tell you that that's kind of what um, some of these spirits will do, especially intelligent hauntings. Now,
Yeah.
we can't. Have you come across any intelligent hauntings or any residual hauntings?
I would say both. So when you say intelligent, do you mean something that's able to
Okay,
give intelligent
I'll
responses?
right, I'll kind of explain it that way.
Okay.
All right, with an intelligent haunting, it is a possible spirit that can respond to you, or they can move an item or object, or touch you, or something like that. So if you ask it a question, it'll give you an answer, a true answer, not just a random something off the cuff. A residual haunting is like for your generation, taking a DVD and putting it on repeat.
Okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
or taking a CD and putting the same song on repeat each time.
Sure.
So it'll start, it'll play through, it'll stop, it'll start again, it'll play through. You know, so that's kind of how residuals and how intelligence are determined.
And that was our understanding too. So that's good. Okay. Yeah. I would say a majority have been intelligent hauntings.
Yeah.
Um, and the reason I say that is because whenever we're questioning the spirits, we're looking for intelligent responses. We've had them use our names before, give us very direct, clear answers. It's not just one word answers. It might be a 3 or 4 word sentence that was captured. So majority, I would say, is intelligent.
Agree.
That's cool. That's cool.
Yeah.
So what are some of the famous places down there that you guys have actually went to
Well, we went to
that you think any of us might actually have heard of?
yeah. So one that was that the Zach Baggins from Ghost Adventures went to was the Odd Fellows. And what the Odd Fellows was, it used to be well, there was 3 different buildings. So you had one part that was an orphanage, another part was a nursing home, and then the third building was a hospital and an asylum. And the asylum is where we captured the shadow figure actually, and a lot of really great EVPs there. But so that place was probably the most famous place we've been to. Um, so
You've been to Ha Ha Tonka also.
yeah, Ha Ha Tonka National State Park, where that house burned down there a long time ago. That one people might know about, but yeah,
Okay. Okay. Yeah, we've got a state park near us here. It's called Astalon, and they
okay.
have they have effigy mounds there. And actually, one of them was a burial mound that Native
There's a
American.
couple of burial mounds out there.
Okay, then I guess there are some burials, but one of them was a Native American princess's burial mound. And when it was all discovered and everything, the archaeologists actually dug up the skeleton of the princess and moved it to the museum in Milwaukee.
Hmm.
And then now you can go out and you can see all this stuff, and there's people that people tell about.
They got a
Sorry
marking.
about
What it
that.
is you're standing there. You
Thank
got a
you.
mark.
Joe's
There's a
better at this.
stone marking, and as you're looking at the marking and you're standing there in the moonlight, you'll hear her. She had was buried with like 4 or 5 shell belts made out of seashells, and you'll hear them rattling behind you. And when you turn around, there's nothing there.
Hmm.
Okay, but the land that this park is on is got some very rich, uh, dark Native American history to it.
Okay.
So we actually our first experience out there, we don't have any evidence because it was all corrupted by the time we got back here to look at it.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Do you know what caused that? Do you think it might have been paranormal or?
not even
It's
sure.
possible. I mean, it's one of those stories that comes out of places like that where phones stop working, batteries go dead, things
Yep.
just, and it
Hmm.
was a flash card. The flash card in our camera
Yeah, the
was
the SD
corrupt,
card,
Yeah.
brand new SD card.
brand new.
It had
Wow.
been formatted, put in the camera. Camera had new batteries in it, fresh batteries. We
Huh.
had the EMF meter with us. We were on one of the mounds. They have wooden steps that are on the sides of the mounds. We were near one of the wooden steps, and the EMF meter went off.
Yep.
Now,
Okay.
EMF meters, you've used them, right?
Yeah,
So
we've got a couple.
you know it's an electromagnetic field detector,
Right.
and anytime you have the like electrical lines or anything, you can get that from them, or
That's
equipment
right.
itself. You can get the EMF from. Where we were, there was no electrical lines above us, no electrical
There's no
lines running
reason
through the
for it to be
ground.
going off.
So there was really no reason for the EMF meter to be going off. But we were getting some really weird spiking hits.
Hmm.
And Joe actually set it down on the step itself. And it was just constantly. And I was recording this so we would have had it, as evidence on the film. And then when he got back home and went to pull it off of the camera, it wouldn't even do anything because it kept saying that the files were corrupt.
Wow.
It
That's
wouldn't even do
wild.
any of that. Have you guys
Yeah.
had any kind of thing like that happen to you?
So not video footage, but we've had a lot of, I wouldn't say a lot, but a few times we've had our batteries drained. So we have really large battery packs that are supposed to last for 8 hours. And
Mm-hmm.
it usually happens to Ronnie the most, I would say. But that we'll have a freshly charged battery pack and it'll drop down within like, maybe 30 minutes or an hour or so. So we know that it shouldn't be draining that early and we'll be in the middle of an investigation and it'll just go out. So now we take several extras. It doesn't happen very often, but we had a few occasions of it. Thank goodness, no lost footage so far. None that
That
was
that's a
paranormal.
good that's a good thing. That is a good thing.
We made a few mistakes ourselves early on and messed
Yeah.
up some of our footage and didn't get the audio captured. But that's rookie mistakes.
Well,
Rookies.
That's a
learn as
learn
you
as you
go.
go.
That's right.
You gotta. So, do you just look into the hauntings and things like that, or do you look into the cryptids and UFOs and all the other stuff that's associated with paranormal and unexplained?
So I personally haven't dug a lot into cryptids or UFOs. I have an open mind, so of course I've watched a lot of the videos on it and stuff. Who hasn't, But I've never done any kind of real exploration or investigation on my own. But I definitely think it could be a possibility. I mean, even in the paranormal realm that I deal with, I mean, there's a lot of unknown questions I can't answer. So I would be willing to accept it to be the same way with cryptids and possible UFOs and aliens.
Well, being down in Missouri, you're not too far. You're in southern Missouri, right?
Well, that's where I was born. We're up in the Kansas City area now, so a little
Oh, you're
further up.
up in Kansas City. So, but
Yeah,
in the southern Missouri area, um, you got the Ozarks there,
yeah. So that's where I grew up in the Mark
and
Forest area.
you know that there has been reports over the years of Bigfoot sightings in the Ozarks as well.
Yes, yeah, and you would hear that as a kid growing up. You hear those stories, from around there. But I guess fortunately, or maybe unfortunately, I don't know. I never got to see him. So
Well, I think it would have been an interesting thing to run across
Yeah,
Bigfoot.
he
yeah.
Bill there might have to be careful though, going out and looking for Bigfoot. You got that big hairy beard, big looking dude like that. Some old drunk might mistake him and take a shot.
You're right.
Well, that would be
That's
mad.
I
awesome.
better wear an orange vest.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, up in the Kansas City area there, what's up there that you guys investigated?
So actually, that's where the Oddfellows is at.
Oh, okay.
The one that made it on Ghost Adventures. So that's probably the most common known one here. But we do a lot of. We usually travel maybe an hour, 2 hours outside of town to find most of our places. Um,
Okay.
we haven't done a whole lot in Kansas City. Some of the areas of Kansas City where you find the best stuff are not really very safe, so
There you go.
we got to be careful. Yeah.
So pretty much you've stayed within the state area, or have you actually crossed the lines over into Illinois, or
Not
because
yet.
Not yet.
Kansas? Okay, so
Now in
you're just
Kansas,
basically
Yeah.
well, Kansas City, Kansas, Kansas City, Missouri.
there's got to be some ghost towns out that way from the old west.
I
I
don't know if
would think
there
so.
is.
There's a couple in Missouri that we haven't gone to yet. One of them is Fescue, I think is the name of it. And there's a couple of, we actually have a list of about 40 different locations that we want to go to. So,
They've got a bucket
Bucket
list.
list.
yeah, yeah. So we're working, slowly working our way through that. St.
Yeah, we've
Louis.
got one of those.
Oh, you got one too? Okay.
Oh yeah, oh
Very
yeah.
good.
Yeah, we've been wanting to go different places. So,
Okay.
but yeah, being a truck driver, I drove. I've been driving for like 20 some odd years, and
Okay.
my job
More
prior
like
to the
30
one,
some odd years.
nah, for truck driving, no. But the job I had prior to the one I got now, I drove for a consolidated freight company, so they covered all of the lower 48 states.
Okay.
And of course, as growing up and having family in Oklahoma, I was constantly back and forth between California and Oklahoma. So I know a lot of the area through there. I know a lot of the area through pretty much anything on the west of the Mississippi on. I can tell you where everything is.
Okay.
So anything on this side of the Mississippi, yeah, I've been to a lot of them, but not all of them yet. So, but traveling like I did, I'd always try and make mental notes of the places I've been to, and places that I can possibly go and investigate and stuff. So yeah,
That's
we put a
great.
bucket list together that way.
That's awesome. Well, as many places as you've been, I'm sure your bucket list is probably larger than ours. So,
It could be. It could be. I actually had to drive downtown Manhattan, New York, in a straight truck, and I did not like that.
no.
That that
Holy
was
smokes.
that
Hell,
was
I
an
didn't even like driving
experience,
in
and I'll never do it
Chicago.
again. So, what is the main places you want to visit and check out?
So we want to go back to St. Louis, where she's from. I bet we've got probably 10 or 15 different places we found there. One was an old, it was a museum, but prior to that, I think it was an old church. That one looks really cool. I know that one's definitely on our list. They've got several old schools there, and just a bunch of neat old abandoned historic homes from the late 1800s and early 1900s. So we're planning on making a few different trips out that way and checking that out. Another one too is, and it sounds kind of touristy, but I still want to go. It's Eureka Springs, Arkansas. They've got
I've
a
heard
hotel
of that one.
there. Yeah,
Yeah, I've heard of that
I
one
think
as well.
Ghost Adventures may have been there. Some of the big time guys have gone down there, but so we want to check that out too.
That's cool. That's cool.
Yeah, you got to watch some of those places that turn themselves into a tourist attraction. You know,
Yeah.
say, "Yep, this place is haunted. $20 to come in and check it out." Or whatever.
Exactly. Yeah.
And they sell tickets to it, and it's like you got to wonder sometimes if they've got like a camera set up. One of these days, I'm gonna just get the funds together and go to a few of those places and just sit there and try to figure it
Debunk
all
everything.
out. Yep,
Yeah.
yep.
Yep.
I
I agree.
mean,
Yeah,
Mark,
any of the
Mark and I,
places.
Mark and I, for quite a few years in Madison, we put together with my brother at his house one of the best haunted houses in Madison every Halloween,
I
and it
love
was a 1 day event and 1 day only.
Yep.
We
Okay.
we put it up and then took it down the next day. Put it up on Halloween, took it down the next day. That way nobody could tell what we were doing, and we always added to it.
Awesome.
Yeah, we had a lot of
So,
fun with it. We
you
had
know, we worked with little special effects and building some of our own props. And
yeah.
yeah, we could figure out a lot of those little things, how they work. Most of it would be common sense, anyways, you
Sure.
know.
But yeah, down in the lower area down there like that, from St. Louis, you're not too far away from Memphis, Tennessee. What about Graceland?
I really want to go to Tennessee.
Yeah.
I've been pushing for that for a little while.
Graceland's not haunted.
Hey, I
Because
didn't say it was haunted. I said, what about Graceland? Oh, look, you got blurry again. What the hell? What's with your camera, dude?
I'm a vampire. You know,
Every
you don't
once in a
like
while,
me.
his camera does this. Makes him look like a wax figure.
I don't know what it is. It just does that. Oh well,
Yeah, it
it'll
gives
come
you
back.
makes you blurry. Makes you look like a wax, like you're melting wax.
Yeah, nothing I've been able to do will fix it.
I know it's weird. Um, but anyway, down actually in the Mississippi, down there, just I think in the area just south of St. Louis. You know that back in the 1900s there was a town actually sitting there, and the Mississippi swallowed it up because of the earthquakes they had.
Wow.
I didn't know that.
Yep,
I didn't either.
yep. There is a town out in the middle of the Mississippi that's underneath the water.
That's
That's pretty wild. Yeah.
It's an interesting little read to really. If you're gonna do that, just keep it that way.
Well, I was just trying to fix it.
I know. I don't know what's up with your camera, dude.
You know, if I did that, Tom, it'd go flying off the table that I'm sitting at.
Oh man. But yeah, it's actually recorded in the history books for that area that is during the late 1800s, early 1900s. That there's actually a recording part of it that they claim the ground shook for 72 hours straight.
Wow.
Yeah, and it changed the course of the Mississippi three times, and on the last time it changed,
Oh,
it
yeah.
swallowed up the town.
that's wild.
So I don't know. I honestly I don't know if anybody um, was like got killed or anything during all that, but I know that that's something that happened, and like I said, it's recorded. So I mean that could even be a hot spot for investigators to go check out too.
You
Yeah.
know, it's the
Yeah.
last.
Don't worry about it, Joe. We'll just look at you
Yeah,
like
well,
you're melting wax over there.
it's just another tech issue to mark up in the books, you know.
Yeah,
Right.
really.
But what I don't
Crap.
understand is this camera is almost brand new. It's not even a
I
year old.
I don't know. And so
Maybe I really am a vampire.
you're a weird dude. You're a
And now it
really
comes
weird.
back. See, look.
Yeah, now look at that. Now it's back. What the hell?
Maybe there was an apparition in front of it.
That could be too. Who knows?
You never know. You never know. You getting any of your premonitions?
Who? What? You
You getting
talking to
any of
me?
your? Yeah, I'm talking to you. You getting any of
Not
your
lately.
premonitions?
No.
Well, yeah, I'm trying to debunk this. Why'd your camera do that? You know,
No. Last
is
time
it
that
is it
happened.
bad?
Last
Is it
time that happened was
bad
that.
energy, bad juju?
Last time it happened was Friday before Tanya's mom passed away.
Yeah, that's not good. Anyway, what were we saying?
I'll tell you the reason he brought this up is it goes back to December 4th, 1995. I was diagnosed with AML leukemia, okay, which is a form of blood cancer.
Oh wow.
Doctors told me I wasn't going to live to see Christmas that year, which was 3 weeks away. So as I get rushed to the emergency room and I'm sitting there in the emergency room, I flatlined, basically, literally flatlined like 5 times, and they had to use the paddles to bring me back. So,
Wow.
and I do remember at one point at one of those times where I was like, it was seemed like I was like outside of myself, and they had my mom out in the waiting area, and she had passed out, and then they had to medicate her after that, you know. And then I could hear my brother and my dad and my stepfather crying, you know, because the doctors was telling them I wasn't going to make it.
Hmm.
But yet here he is.
Yeah,
Good
I
for
had
you,
a
man.
Yeah.
That's
I got
awesome.
lucky. I got lucky because my full brother was an exact match, and
Wow.
I had a bone marrow transplant. So, and I wasn't supposed to live past 42, and here I am, 53. So I'm past my expiration date.
Yeah,
Nice.
that's why I nicknamed him Twinkie, and it actually stuck.
Oh, I got you because they never expire. Yeah.
Yeah, but the thing is, it was just a damn joke, and it stuck. So everybody knows the joke that knows the joke calls him Twinkie now. So
Okay. Well, you know what, Joe? There's worse names you could have, man. I think that one's a keeper.
Yeah. So, and then, so because of some of that, I've been able to predict bad things before they happen.
he gets premonitions, and yeah, it's not really it's not really something he cares to keep going with. So unfortunately,
Gotcha. Well, that's strange. I don't know if we want to talk about premonitions more, but I also had a premonition when I was 17 years old. I was in the shower, and I had a premonition that my father was going to pass away. And then, literally about 30 to 60 seconds later, he did pass away right upstairs, and I had to run upstairs and be a first responder and do CPR. So I do think there is something to premonitions. I don't know how they work or why they work,
it
but
yeah, I believe it too because I have deja vu all the time.
yeah,
That's
Deja
where
vu.
you have a dream. You don't quite remember your dream until the following day. You have an event that happens during the day that triggers memory
yep.
and stuff
I've
like
had
that.
those.
So, yeah.
I get those.
So, in your investigations, have you ever had? Let me see if I can phrase this correctly. Um, I guess I call it like time dilation, where you lose time,
I don't
or
think so.
experience like long seconds.
Yeah.
I can't say I've ever experienced that.
Okay,
How about you guys?
I've experienced stuff like that quite a bit in my past. So
Wow. Okay.
it's really weird. It's like I have literally I used to wear a wristwatch, and I quit wearing them because I constantly would break the damn things.
Hmm.
I wind up hitting them on something.
Yeah.
But there was literally times where I would look down at the watch when it was an analog watch with the second hand,
Mhm.
and I could literally I could watch I could see the second hand like stop, and then it would continue on about a second and a half later. And I've
Wow.
actually had the same thing happen with digital watches. I don't know if it's just me, the way my energies are, but I've had digital watches where you see the seconds clicking off, and then all of a sudden they would like stop, and then
Huh.
start clicking again like a second and a half later.
Wow.
Stuff just doesn't
So
like you.
no,
It's
it's
just
really
you.
weird, but it would always seem like it would still keep time properly,
Okay.
which was just really weird. And
Okay,
I've had stuff like that happen.
I found it.
And found what?
something I saw on their page. Okay, and I saw this before in the past.
Okay, ask them about it
Okay,
then.
well, if I'm not mistaken, this is like some app, right? That takes you
Necrophonic.
someplace.
Oh,
Huh?
Randall Monica.
Yeah.
Yep.
Right. Now, please explain that to me.
You want
So
to take
Definitely.
it?
okay, so really, it's an app that you download. There's a free one, then there's another one that you can pay for. We do the free one though, and you basically have it find your location, and then it asks for you to find or think of intuition.
Yeah, you have to think of something that you
Yeah.
want to find. Wherever you want to lead you to, you have to think of it. So we've thought of things like places of death, haunted places, abandoned buildings. You're supposed to think of something
Yeah.
like that.
And then it'll find one however many miles away you put your range at, and then you're supposed to go there and really just explore it. So we did one not too long ago.
Yeah.
So,
That's
what'd you think?
interesting.
So, what'd you think of it?
Well, we're still extremely skeptical. We do have a video of one, but that was probably the fifth time we had tried it. The
Yeah,
first one
yeah,
took us to like people's driveways or just stuff like that. So I'm not really sure. I'm still a skeptic.
that's what
Um,
I'm looking at right there.
yeah, that one. Yeah. So that location, I do believe that the stuff we captured there is legit, but I'm not sure that Rando Nautica is necessary. The verdict's still out, right?
The jury's still out.
But that's what I mean. Yeah, thank you. Not the verdict. The jury's still out. Um,
Okay.
so
Well, that's good to know. Um, yeah, I've seen it. I've seen the videos. I know of another group that we met when we were out on Weary Road. I've seen them use it, um, but I'm just not sure what to think about it myself either.
yeah,
You know, I mean,
I'm
when
not
we
too.
started out, I did it the old-fashioned way. By one, I went and I looked up a couple of because we stayed in the Wisconsin area. I looked up some of those paranormal investigators in their books.
okay,
So, and for this area, it's Chad Lewis. So I got Chad Lewis's books and I started going to some of the locations he's been to, and checking them out. And then I started following him on YouTube and
okay,
a few other people like him. And that's how we've been finding most of our locations is just doing the research ourselves or hearing about them. Have you ever done a private home investigation yet?
not yet. We want to.
Oh,
I had to do one.
Yeah.
Go ahead and tell them the story, Ron.
So when we first started, I moved into this apartment, and I don't know, it wasn't the best feeling in there. And so I had Bill come over, and we did a night investigation there. And back then, all we had was a spirit box and a red solo cup to amplify it. And I wouldn't say we got very far in that, but I definitely think that my apartment has something there. I've caught it on camera talking, and
Yeah,
I have a strong feeling there's something there.
it'll turn her security cameras on
Yes, all
that
the
are
time.
motion activated, and they'll turn on, and she can hear whispers from the camera, and there's nothing there.
Yeah.
That's kind of creepy, but
Actually, that's pretty cool.
well, Tom's got a pretty good question.
Yeah, Tom here has a good, an interesting question. Have you ever
Fine.
find something that could be debunked, but you still feel it's legit?
ooh, that's a tough one. That's a good question, Tom.
I don't know. I think.
I guess some of our EVPs we've captured. There's always the skeptics that say, well, that could just be someone whispering. Maybe Ronnie's whispering or I'm whispering or something. And so I guess technically those you could say they're debunked, but we know we use multiple cameras and we'll go through all the different footage to confirm that what we hear is actually indeed an EVP. And then we also try to avoid whispering during our investigations now as well.
Yeah.
That way, there's no possibility of that. But yeah, we've captured some things that what we call Class A EVP. So it sounds like someone's talking, like Ronnie or I, and it's neither one of us, and we know. So I guess that would be an instance of that.
Well, a lot of times you could in the beginning, so you have this on the file itself, is say a sentence in your voice and then do a whisper in your voice, and that way you can compare it to anything you catch in case
That's a
you
good
do
idea.
wind up, you know, so you can
Yeah, you
compare
use
the
a
the
nice little
voice
audio program
stuff too
and
like that.
Yeah.
That way
That's a
you can
great
tell if
idea,
it is you or not.
right? Good point.
yeah, you use a nice little audio program that you can find free for free or something.
Oh,
There's
there's a
tons of them
lot
out
of
there.
programs. There's a lot of
Yeah,
stuff out there for free on the internet.
Audacity
You
is a
just got
good
to look
one.
for it.
That's our favorite kind, the free kind.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, Audacity is a good one.
Yep. What one, Joe? Audacity?
Yeah, Audacity is a good one.
Audacity. Yeah.
I'm gonna write that down.
Yeah, I haven't heard of that.
That's that pin.
But there's a lot of good programs out there that you can find that'll help you with your files to check them out like that. We've learned. I mean, we've got fortunate enough. We've ran into a few people like Tom, for example, and we investigated a couple of private homes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Tom's was one of them, and it was a very interesting.
There was a lot there.
Yeah, it was.
Hmm.
That
And
was quite interesting.
we do have those up on our YouTube as well. Now, you
Yeah,
guys
this.
did a YouTube channel, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
we're gonna check your guys' out too. What is it? Is yours called Insane Asylum or what is your?
yep,
Yeah.
yep.
Okay.
And yours, go ahead and plug
Is-
it, please.
all right. Sigma Paranormal Society. So,
Okay. So that's all you got to look for on YouTube.
yep. Which should be
Okay.
the first one that pops up, hopefully.
All right. And now, same thing
You
on
don't have a
Facebook.
web page yet?
We do not. Well, technically we have one, but it's still under development.
Yeah.
We're
I
trying to
was
have some
I
merch.
was looking. So
Okay. Yeah, so it's not out on the market yet, so to speak, but we are working on one.
No, that's good. That's good. Now, also on Facebook, it's Sigma Paranormal Society.
It is. Yep.
Okay. So you type that in, and it'll bring you guys up.
Yep. And same thing on Instagram, if there's any Instagrammers out there.
I
So,
think it's
Okay.
sigma.paranormal.society on Instagram.
yep.
The hell? No, it literally just felt like somebody fell on the floor. I felt the whole damn place shake. We got a family above us. I'm in an apartment complex. We got a family above us. I swear to God, they're elephants because they got like two or three. They got like two or three kids, and I don't know. It's almost as if these kids are like practicing backyard wrestling or something up there because
cool.
it'll be like all of a sudden it'd be like really quiet and nice in here, and then all of a sudden you just hear this, and then the whole freaking place just shakes.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what just happened. So I was like, what the hell? Ugh, it's crazy. And then it gets even more annoying because I have to go for the week. During the week, I go to bed around 8:30, and 9:30, 10 o'clock, they're up there doing that crap.
Ah,
So
makes it tough to sleep. That's for sure.
yeah,
I don't have that problem.
I know you don't. You don't have anything above you except for the damn squirrels.
Squirrels, yeah, running across the roof.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, Joseph, anything else that you can think of?
Nope.
I think we
Nope.
covered most of it.
Yeah, yeah. This was a good one. So you guys are out of Missouri.
We are.
You're up in Kansas City area now.
Yep.
Now I guess have you tried to find other groups and stuff and ask to see if they can teach you or learn from them?
Yeah, we've reached out to a couple groups to try and get some tips when we first started out and stuff, and get some ideas. But we haven't really reached out to anyone to do a joint investigation. We've talked about it with a couple different groups, but we haven't really gotten serious.
We
Um,
haven't
it
we
kind of
haven't done that yet either.
okay. It's just
Yeah,
been
we
kind
haven't
of
we haven't had the opportunity just yet. We came close, but like I said, because of all the partying idiots up here and not being able to control themselves, and Illinois putting us on their shit list, that kind of got put on hiatus for a while.
sure, sure.
But it is nice though. I mean, if you could connect with another group and actually go out on a joint investigation, you could learn something from them. They can learn something from you. You guys have different equipment. You never know what you're gonna find out with the equipment. See, the thing is with me and Joe, whenever we wound up getting our equipment, I got, we buy our equipment separately. I wound up getting the exact same camera he did, so we can have interchangeable batteries.
Oh, that's a smart idea. Yeah.
And then I got a thermal camera, and he wound up getting a
Yeah,
thermal camera
yeah,
and didn't ask me
yeah.
first. So,
Whatever.
but now we have the same thermal cameras, so interchangeable batteries.
Okay.
So, and then I got extra batteries for everything, so we can actually have um, fresh batteries if needed at any particular time. And then I just recently got a spotter scope that has a wireless camera that goes over the view lens
Okay.
that and it's got an IR.
And you can
Um,
zoom.
well, yeah, it's got like up to 300 zoom on it, but it's got like one of the Super Duty IR um, lights. It's like a wand like type light,
Okay.
and you can actually see. Uh, they show a video that they took with it in the advertisement part, where you can see the guy standing in clear as day with the IR camera, in infrared. You can see him standing down there with a sign that says 350 meters.
Wow.
That's the length of 3 football fields approximately,
And you can see that in total darkness.
and
That's
you
pretty
can see
impressive.
that. Yep.
That's awesome.
So I wound
Sure.
up getting that, and we still have we still haven't gotten a chance to use it yet. So,
Okay.
and I
Well, how
want
do
to
you
I
like
want
that
to
thermal
use it.
camera?
What's that?
How do you like your thermal camera?
It doesn't take video. It takes
Oh,
stills.
It
I,
takes
I didn't get we
pictures.
didn't get the really fancy ones that do video.
okay.
But it does. You can have an SD card on it, and it is a nice camera.
You can
Um,
also hook them into a
and you can
laptop.
it's also got a blender to where it will take like what we see right now with what we've got on this cameras.
Yeah.
You can see kind of in that spectrum, and then it'll blend it into the infrared, the heat
Wow.
the heat sensor.
Well,
So you can actually adjust it up to where you can have partial, where you've got the heat sensor part. You can see the heat, but you can also see the person as well.
That's really cool.
It's kind of a cool camera, and it wasn't very expensive. I got it off of Amazon.
Okay.
So yeah, I don't know, what was it, Joe? It's like just over $100 or something like that for it.
I don't know. We found a lot of our equipment off of Amazon.
Us too. Yeah.
You
You
can
know,
get some good deals on Amazon.
Yeah. Yeah.
I sit there and I make a wish list and then I watch the price drop.
Yeah.
Yeah, Tom, it is the one you saw. It you can see the screen. It's got the screen on it. You can see the screen, and as you're moving it back and forth or up and down or whatever, you can see everything moving on the screen. But whenever you pull the trigger on it, it just snaps a picture. And it
Okay.
also
Yeah.
it also gives you I think it gives you your temperature of the object, and I'm thinking it also has ambient temperature on it, if I
Okay.
remember right.
We need to
But
look
yeah,
into that. That'd be
Yeah.
cool. Right on.
yeah. But the thermals are really cool to have because they can detect. They'll detect the hot spots and sometimes the cold spots.
Yeah, and you get the
You can.
spotter scope because of all the pictures we got sent to us that one day.
Yeah, well, the spotter scope was also I got it also because I wanted to use it when we went out to Bray Road. But I don't know if you guys have ever heard of the Beast of Bray Road or Wolfman of Michigan
I've heard of
or
Wolfman of Michigan.
Dogman of Michigan.
Dogman, Michigan,
Dogman. Yeah.
Michigan
Yeah,
Dogman.
well, Beast of Bray Road's similar to that, and that's right here in Wisconsin now, out of Elkhorn, Wisconsin, and that's what we were gonna go do a couple weekends ago, but
For like
that's
the third time.
yeah, the second time.
This
Okay.
time it was going to be an overnight investigation. We got
Yeah,
to a place. This is like one of those situations, and you'll run across it if you haven't already, where you pretty much go. We went there expecting just to learn about the cryptid, the dog man, or the beast of Bray Road in this case. And no, there was a lot more going on than
this
just the
guy
beast
has
of
a
Bray
hell of a
Road.
lot more going on.
Okay.
You know, we were on a gentleman's land that he uses to uh, grow hay for his horses.
Yeah, he has 32 acres of land that he grows hay on.
Okay.
So we were there on his land for like 8 hours, interviewing him, looking at pictures, looking at casts. Um, yeah, walking his land. And then he
And
invites us to stay for an overnight, and we weren't prepared because we had no tent.
Ah, gotcha.
yeah, so
So,
Well,
we
maybe
were
in the
we were gonna
future.
do that. Yeah,
well,
well,
we were
that's the thing.
supposed to
We were
go
supposed to
back,
do it, but
and we were going to do it with this guy from Illinois that we've had on our show twice now, Dale out of Illinois, and it fell through because of the travel ban Illinois put on coming into Wisconsin.
yeah,
Okay.
So
Is is he the guy that's been doing this since the '70s or something? I think I saw one of
yep,
your guys.
yeah, Dale Kazmarek.
Here. Okay. Yeah, that's the guy. Okay.
Yeah,
yeah,
Cool.
that was going to be our first
the crossover
collaboration.
or collaboration.
Not
So
crossover. Crossover is what we do with Off the
I
Rails.
yeah. I meant collaboration. That was gonna be our first collaborating investigation. So
Yeah, we've got a lot of offers, but that was the first one we actually put together.
Okay. Well, I got a question I want to ask you guys. How
okay,
do
go
you
for
feel
it.
about dowsing rods? You know, the little rods you hold and they supposed to wiggle and stuff.
I've heard of those. I've actually used them for finding water sources
Right.
and underground water lines. You can use it that way. But for the other part with
So
using it for
finding
paranormal,
a
I'm
spirit
not
or
sure.
something, I'm not so
Not
sure.
not really sure.
Yeah.
I
Same
mean,
here.
I know it's a proven technique, and like I said, I've actually used them and have found underground water lines and stuff because where I lived in California, we had our pumps and had to find the lines where they were buried and stuff for the water supply coming into the house.
Okay.
So, but yeah, I mean stuff like that. I'm not too certain about the paranormal part of it, but
Yeah. Yeah. I watched a video the other day and they were trying to use them, and it didn't go very well. So I was just wondering what your take was on it. So
yeah. Well, like I said, there are some things that I actually believe in, and some things I think are just kind of bogus, and
yeah.
you know, and not trying to put anybody down. Some people say that that's something that works for them, and that's great. Let it work for them. But for me, I gotta stick with what I know. I gotta stick with what works for me.
Yeah,
Sure.
well, a lot of common sense comes into play, and you got to have an open mind and to do what we do, and
Yeah.
you know realize that just about anything's possible in this world.
That is true.
Yeah.
You
There's a
know,
lot of strange activities that happen every day, and a lot of weird things that are out there in this world that we don't even know about
yeah.
or
Look at
haven't even
you.
discovered yet.
You're pretty weird, and scientists still haven't figured you out yet.
And they never will. There is no figuring me out.
Case in point.
I'm just saying, there is no figuring me out.
Okay. Well, thank you for coming on.
Yeah.
Yes,
Thanks for
thank
having
you.
us.
And I got one announcement to make before we close. We have next Wednesday, October 14th, and I'm sure I'm going to slaughter the name, Shaitan Nor, and we're going to be talking lizard people. So that's next Wednesday. So until next Wednesday, stay safe.
And thanks, guys.
Thanks,
Thanks.
everyone.
Yeah,
See you guys.
you're welcome to stick around if you still want to chat a little bit.
Yeah, if you got any more,